Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Jack of All Trades. I'm your host, Jack Allen, and in this episode, we're going to be exploring garden centers in the Bethel Park area. All right, well, our first stop today is Shrubs and Stuff, which is located right on Route 88, across from EV True Value. And I'm with Sawyer Dixon. Sawyer you may recognize as the son of Councilman Paul Dixon. So welcome to the show.
All right, good to be here.
And I noticed that over the years, seems like you've been more and more involved, and now I understand that you're the sole proprietor of the business.
Yeah, so I started here when I was in high school, working on and off through the seasons and taking winter off and through college and everything. And whenever I, came up to the old owner, Bob, a few years ago about possibly buying it off of him, he, said yeah.
Okay. So the season, you mentioned you took the winter off.
Yes.
So what typically is your season period that you sell?
So officially our official opening day every season is April 1st, and then we'll go all the way through the end of November, and we consider Thanksgiving our official closing.
Right. Now you also do pumpkins?
Yep, we do pumpkins, gourds, we'll sell straw, all the fall items.
Okay.
Mums are a big one.
Yeah. Now you're also involved in the landscaping business also?
A little bit. We
Okay.
don't do too much landscaping, mainly just the retail garden center, but
Okay.
we'll get out from time to time and, take care of some customers and do work for
So
them.
so typically they'll find you here. You're not going to be on a site somewhere.
Yeah.
But and do you design it, or does someone design it and they just pick up what you recommend?
Yeah,
or-
we can do designs, and then we'll walk you around the store and show you things, and come out to the house
Yeah.
and help out as well.
So right now we're in the middle of July, and what seems to be the best sellers that you have here, or what class of plants?
I'd say the herbaceous perennials, mainly. We're kind of out of the annual flowering season, so all of our perennials, pretty much over in that area of the store
Okay.
are a big seller. Pollinator plants like coneflower and butterfly bush that flower a lot and attract bees and butterflies are really
Now-
big seller.
So at the end of your season, what do you do with the plants that are left over?
So we'll actually construct two little buildings on the property here, and we'll just kind of cut everything back, pack it all away, and we'll cover it with cold thermal blankets and leave it over winter.
Okay.
And then we'll open back up usually mid-March when we start unpacking those things. And
Okay. Well, maybe you can give us a little tour of what you have here to offer.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there. Well, one thing I noticed, there's a lot of bees flying around the area that we're in now. Do you want to let us know where we're at? And
so this is where we keep a lot of our coneflower, which would be a pollinator plant, which attracts a lot of bees and butterflies that, spread pollen off to other plants and help, further cultivate. So they come in, a variety of different colors. There's reds, yellows, and pinks, and white.
so they're attracted to this.
Yes.
And then, would you say they'll pollinate? Or
Well, they'll fly off to another plant and pollinate, or
the same
with
type
the-
of plant? Or
Yes, typically, yeah.
Okay.
And then they'll, they can take the pollen back and make honey out of it, and yeah.
Now, do you sell a lot of these for the retail
Yes.
house? Okay.
Yeah, the coneflower is probably one of our biggest sellers here.
Okay.
And then they, pretty much bloom all summer long, so they add a ton of color to your yard.
Okay. All right, we're now in the section of the property. Actually, beyond the trees here, you have a couple mulch beds or one mulch bed, so you do sell mulch also?
Yeah, yeah, we have a natural brown mulch that we sell. We sell it in bags and deliver it, within the local area here. There's also topsoil and mushroom manure
Oh, okay, okay.
down there as well.
But now we're into the shrub section of shrubs and stuff.
Yes.
So, and let's know a little bit about the variety of shrubs and trees that you offer.
I mean, there's quite a selection of, evergreen and herbaceous shrubs here that, range from various sizes to small and large. There's quite a bit to talk about here. I'm not really sure where to even begin, but
Now, of all the different shrubs that you offer, what would you say your better sellers are?
probably a boxwood, which is just a basic, evergreen small shrub, very maintenance-free, deer resistant. It's
Deer resistance
nothing,
big.
nothing too pretty to look at though. It doesn't really flower,
Yeah.
but it works.
Okay.
So,
We're now in the section that happens to be your bread and butter. And before you tell us a little bit about what we're looking at, you started here in high school.
yes.
How did you get involved in this type of business?
Just a friend that I had worked here and pretty much offered me a job. I came in not knowing anything about anything, and I just slowly began to learn about it and love it, and knew that that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So,
Well, since we're in the section that you sell the most of, just tell us a little bit about what we're looking at here.
all right. So these are all, well, not all of them, but a small selection of like our flowering herbaceous perennials that we have here. Which a lot of them really flower a lot throughout the summertime. And they just offer a lot of color. We sell a lot of them, and we maintain them and keep them nice looking for everybody.
Now, do you also have inside the office or the store itself?
Yeah.
Do you offer different fertilizer, or
Yeah.
what do you offer inside?
So we have fertilizers for specific types of plants that are going to help either with foliage growth, keep plants green, or help things to rebloom and flower all summer. We have lawn fertilizers, we have garden soil, potting soil. We pretty much have everything that you would need for your yard in there.
Now, of all the different plants and shrubs and trees that you have here, how many suppliers do you deal with?
Probably a dozen or so.
And do they
From
all offer the same product, or do you have to get certain things from certain people?
They all offer certain things. So from our annual suppliers all the way up to the people we get trees from, they kind of span all over the country too. So we get stuff from Canada, even as far west as Oregon. So
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Okay. Well, Sawyer, we appreciate you being with us today.
yeah.
We wish you luck. This is certainly brand new. Even though you've been here, it's your own business now. So congratulations and thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Well, our next stop on our gardening tour is Jim Jenkins. Jim is at 1877 Painters Run Road. Jim's a longtime resident of Bethel Park, and even though the business is just over the border, he's very important to us in the municipality. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And we found out from our last stop that you used to own, or your first gardening center was where Shrubs and Stuff is on 88.
Yes.
So just give us a synopsis of how that evolved into where you're at now.
Well, my dad and I started out in Bethel Park in 1973 on Route 88 across from EV Hardware. And a few years later, this garden center in Upper St. Clair was for sale. And my dad wanted to buy it. And there was some back and forth actually for a couple years. Finally made a deal to have it all work out. And then my dad suddenly had a heart attack and passed away. That was in 1981. I was 21 years old. So a year later, I made a deal with the previous owner here, and I took this place over, and it's been Jim Jenkins Lawn and Garden Center since November of 1982.
Just give us a little bit of background, your background, how you got into the business.
Well, that's kind of how I got into it. My dad, when I was about 12 years old, decided he wanted to do some renovating of our landscaping at home. And he was unemployed at the time. He had lost his job. He had a sales position for a big national company, and there was a, downsizing and getting rid of the old and bringing in the new. So in between jobs, he started to do some more work around our yard. And he found two little nurseries out in Peters Township, one on Irishtown Road Extension and one out on Just About Road. And both of these small nurseries were owned by older gentlemen, had a lot of beautiful plants, but didn't have a really good way to market them. My dad, always being a great salesman, he decided to sell plants for these two nurseries. So along with buying some plants for our yard, my dad put stuff into the back of a station wagon and went around to different garden centers in the area at the time.
Mm-hmm.
This place, Courtney's on South Park Road, even Versharon's at the entrance to the park.
Okay.
And my dad said, hey, I've got these plants I can get for you, and it kind of evolved from there. And then we opened up on the side of the road on 88, called it Jim Jenkins Shrubs and Stuff, and when it rained, we sat in the car.
Yeah. Well, before the buildings were there.
Yes.
So you've been down here for a while. Just tell us
40 years.
40 years. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Just tell us a little bit about your business that you have down here as a garden center. What do you offer the people?
Well, we try to give our customers very good service and very good quality plants, annuals, hanging baskets, perennials, trees and shrubs, roses, and pretty much everything you can imagine as far as for gardening. We also have a nice store with all the different fertilizers, grass seed, chemicals. We sell a lot of pottery, clay pots, ceramic pots, and we sell a tremendous amount of bulk materials, mulch, topsoil, mushroom manure, gravel, and things like that.
Yeah.
And we deliver that stuff and sell it picked up.
Okay. So, I mean, I do notice, obviously, I see your trucks in the winter, so you do snow plowing
Yes,
also. Which isn't what this show's about, but
No,
we
but
do see your trucks.
We plow a lot of snow, too. I've plowed snow since I was 19 years old. I still enjoy it.
Yeah. Now, do you do any of the landscaping yourself, or do you just supply different landscaping?
We do have a small landscaping crew that does go out and do work. We're not doing any real big jobs. It's mostly people that come into the garden center and need something done or want some plants planted that they're buying. That's the type of work that we go out and do. We do a little bit of light excavation and some drainage work. We do install hydroblocks
Okay.
for drainage and.
Okay. Now, did the season peak already? We're doing this show in the middle of July because it just feels like a gardening type of year.
Well, we're having the hot weather, and this is typical July weather, but our season has peaked. Our biggest part of the year is April, May, and June. We're kind of getting ready to shift things around here. As you can see, there's a lot of empty space in the greenhouse. Things are spread out to make it look full, but there's maybe 15% in here of what we normally would have, like in middle of May when we're really busy with May. And as the season goes on, we switch around into different things, more perennials in the summer. As fall comes closer, we'll start to get fall mums in, and then we get to late September, middle of September, and the fall things as far as pumpkins and corn stalks and all that, and we do a heck of a lot of that too.
And you also do Christmas trees.
Yes, we do. We sell a lot of cut Christmas trees.
Yeah, there's not too many places that do, so it's nice to know that they can come down here and get those. So can you give us just a little tour of the place, what we might be looking at? Your best sellers are compared to like shrubs and trees.
Sure, we could do that.
Okay. All right, what section are we in right now, your store, and what do you have to offer in here?
Well, we call this pottery. What do we call this, Lisa?
Pottery Paradise.
Pottery Paradise. Again, inventory is a little bit low in here right now as well, but this whole house is pottery and also houseplants over on that side. And we have regular clay pots. We've got painted clay. We have ceramic, all kinds of different colors of ceramic pots and painted clay pots, plastic pots, and
Now, do you get this
statuary.
from numerous suppliers? Or?
Yes, we buy from a lot of different distributors around the country. A lot of this product is imported, so the last couple of years have been really tough to keep inventory in because a lot of it's still sitting on container ships out in the ocean that haven't been unloaded. At least that's what they tell us when we ask them where our stuff is.
Of course.
And then they say, oh, and by the way, the freight's another $10,000 to get it here. So
Yeah. Now,
it's been interesting.
when you pick different items out, do you go to trade shows or?
Yes, we go to several trade shows a year,
Okay.
different distributors, and they have their products on display or order through catalogs with some of them that can't get product in to show.
Okay, we're in another section of the store, which looks a little bit different than the first one. Jim is here, obviously. Lisa, his wife, who I think you heard in the last name of the section we were in before, which Jim couldn't remember. But Lisa, why don't you just tell us what we're looking at in this particular place?
This particular, we call it the hoop house. It's all perennials. This particular hoop house houses all of our perennials that are for shade. And then we lead into another hoop house just like this towards the back that is all the perennials for sun and a lot of things in between. We really take pride in the selection of perennials that we have. We really try to get some unusual things and a large variety of different colors of things so that people have good choices no matter what area they're planting in.
So it looks like the inventory in this room is more abundant than the first place we were at. Is
Yes.
that because people they will and can buy this all year round?
Yes, perennials we do keep stocked all summer long because usually once people are done planting their annuals and getting their decks and so forth fixed up with annuals, then they're sitting back and looking at their yard and saying, oh, I need something there, I need something there. So obviously a tree, a shrub, or some perennials or a combination of those things, is beneficial. So that's why we do keep the stock up on those things for the rest of the summer now.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. We're back outdoors where the sun's shining, and we're in quite an area that you have here, Jim. Just tell us, what we're looking at.
Well, we're out in the back where we have a tremendous amount of our nursery stock and evergreens and woody shrubs and flowering shrubs. There's a lot of different plants for a lot of different locations, some things like sun, some things like shade. We help people make the decisions on what would work best for their area. A lot of people bring in pictures. We have some very good staff here that can help people design something, even if it's just on a piece of scratch paper, or sometimes we'll actually lay plants out on the ground and say, well, you could put 3 of this and 2 of this and things like that. And that's another thing that has helped us to be very successful because we've surrounded ourselves with very good staff that are all part of our family here that make things really work out well and give customers a very good experience. And if they have problems with their plants, they come back. We always have questions. We always have a lot of people here that can answer pretty much any question. You can never answer every question.
Yeah.
Even after 50 years, I still don't know all the answers. And then when you do think you have it all figured out, some new bug comes along or a new plant disease and kind of makes the problem
Well,
that way.
you have such a wide variety of selection here. And so you're saying if someone came in with a picture of their house, you would know, like, what would look good around the front? And because
Yes.
if I were coming here and building a new house or whatever, I would have no idea what to use.
Yes, we do that for people all the time.
Okay. Well, Jim, is there anything else that you want to tell our viewers that we haven't thought of yet?
No, I don't think so. Just whenever you want to be successful with gardening and you have questions, we're here to help. And keep your plants watered in this heat that we're having right now. And if you take good care of them, you'll have great results. You'll even end up with things that look as beautiful as this. This is a dinner plate hibiscus. It's a perennial, and it's deer resistant. It gets beautiful flowers.
Well, I want to thank you for being on our show.
Well, thank you for coming
And,
down. Sure do appreciate it.
I look forward to seeing you and Lisa and all that you do in Bethel Park for us. And I might also mention that they do have a spot on our trolley line beautification that they take care of. I think they actually take care of more than their own, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I go out at night with a water tank on a truck and water a lot of things along the trolley line and up in front of the community center.
It's okay. Well, thank you for all you do.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming down, Jack.
Okay. All right, we're here today with Derek Ivanovich, and it's kind of neat because this is a well-kept secret in Bethel Park. It's located on the corner of Brightwood and South Park Road. So, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So, if you can just tell us a little bit about how the business got started and how you got involved and your parents and so on.
Okay. So this is me and my brother would be the third generation going into this business. Right out of my grandpa was in World War II, and when he got back, he started a landscape construction company. And after that, my dad worked with him pretty much his whole life growing up. Decided he wanted to open a garden center. He went to Penn State, got a degree in horticulture, and then once he graduated, started the business in 1985. And from there, he initially started it as a educational garden center where people could come in and he could actually teach you about the plants and how to use them properly. And from there, he's grown it into a big landscape design company, as well as the garden center with all the trees and shrubs and stuff. So, I mean, we're able to keep all this inventory pretty much because we go through it so quickly and have staff here to keep it all watered and are able to keep getting new stuff shipped in.
I'm now here with Evan Ivanovich. Evan Ivanovich and his wife Carolyn. They're the owners of the two sons, Derek and
Devin.
Work at the business also. So Derek told us a little bit about how you got into business at Penn State and landscaping and so on. Just let us know what you do from a landscaping standpoint.
What you see around us right now, we have a full-scale large garden center with over 1.5 acres worth of plants. We do large landscape to medium-sized landscape jobs all over the South Hills, and we have 12 employees. And two of the things that I like to say is, you know, our jobs look very unique design-wise. It's kind of like a picture frame and matting framing a house versus just sticking plants around the home. Second of all, with the gentlemen working for me, are very efficient, and when we get jobs done in a very quick period of time. The way I bid our jobs is I'll come to your house, I'll take people for a ride and show them like projects, and then go back to your house and discuss what we do there and derive a price on the spot, what they're going to do within that point. So, with that being said, you have questions for me?
Yeah. Well, I'm just looking at the landscaping behind us. So you designed this particular.
Yeah. Yes, I did.
You did this yourself, and
Yes.
that's what you
Yes.
do when you go to people's houses.
Yes, we also try to set things up within the garden center so you can see how everything is not just lined up in rows in straight bushes. We try to set things up so you can see how all the plants interact with each other. Because even when I do design jobs and we own a landscape business, I'll tell people when I first meet them that the landscaping is the least, or not the landscaping, but the plants are the least important thing in a landscape. The most important thing are the bed shapes, how they interact with the driveway, the sidewalk, and the street, and that should act as a picture frame in the matting to the house. The plant material becomes living room or family room furniture. Your bigger pieces are your wall units, your middle-sized pieces are your couch and your lazy boy, all the way down to the perennials being the knickknacks that make the room homey. So we've tried to also lay the store out in such a way to where you can get an idea of how the plants all interact with each other.
Yeah, and it sounds like obviously this is not only your livelihood, but you're very enthusiastic when you talk about it, waiting for the next job to show someone what their house could look like once you finish.
Yes, I mean it's just a very fun job.
Yeah.
My grandfather always made a comment to where it's much nicer knowing you could build a golf course and play a good round of golf, and I kind of actually feel that way
I
about
agree
things.
with that too. So, all right, well, we're going to take a look around the area, and thank you for being with us today.
I thank you. And the other thing is, I just like really enjoy the fact that both my sons and my wife and everybody,
Yeah.
enjoyed being in the business.
Okay, I'm now with Carolyn. Carolyn is actually the person that runs the inside here. Just tell us a little bit about what you have to offer. I notice you have a lot of water fountains, so if you can tell us a little bit about that, and also in additional things that you do offer.
Yeah, so we've been in business for 37 years in this location. We have a lot of new fountains that we just recently got in, and statues. We have an acre and a half of trees and shrubs that one of the things that we offer is for customers to come and bring pictures of their home if they want to do landscaping on their own, and we help them pick out the shrubs and trees for their home if they want to do it themselves. We also offer to diagnose plant issues, so if people have problems with different plants, they can bring in samples of their leaves or trees or pictures, and we can help them diagnose what is wrong with them. We then in September, October, turn the whole store into a Christmas shop.
Okay.
And we offer cut trees and wreaths and garland. We decorate wreaths. We have a large selection of the Department 56 villages, and just lots of fun.
Now, Derek said that you will design with someone a wreath just for them.
Absolutely, we
So-
do.
So they'll sit down and tell you what they have in mind, and between the both of you together, you'll design.
Yes.
You have a lot of products in here. Do you go to different shows to purchase, or how do you get your inventory the way it is?
So there are a lot of different companies that we've bought from over the years, and each year I just go through with the rep and their catalogs and order from them.
So they come to you,
Yes,
you don't go to them.
right. We used to go to New York, and then we've gotten to know the reps and the companies really well, and so we just order through them direct.
Okay, so you basically obviously focus on landscaping, and then in the fall, you turn it into a Christmas village. So those are the two different themes that you have here?
Yes, but they landscape all year, March through November.
Okay.
And then we have the store here, the 5,000 square foot in-store with gift shop, and then the plants outside that we also sell to customers.
Okay, all right, let's take a walk around the store and see what you have to offer.
All right, thanks.
All right, we're standing in front of a pretty cool looking topiary. Evan, if you can tell us a little bit about this topiary and how you deal with other ones.
We like to carry some unique plants here, and I find a nursery out on the West Coast that does everything from deer to flowers and several other forms of topiary work, and they just really finish their plants off nicely. Another thing that we tend to do a lot of anymore is landscape lighting, and what we do within the lighting is a little bit different than what everybody else does too. We're just not lighting the coins of the house. We are also lighting in the shrubs. We're also lighting the rock formations that we create in there, so you're creating depth and dimension to the lighting, which really makes it showy in the evening.
Okay.
And again, one last thing that was very enjoyable within my lifetime, I kind of grew up with my father in this business. I took it in a different direction where he was in the excavating and landscape business and worked for a lot of builders, and we created more of an artistic style to what's going on, but I greatly appreciate, what he did in front of us. And with that being said, it was also very nice, the fact and fun that, a lot of my family members and my two sons wanted to get involved with the business. I think that was very unique that we're into our third generation now, and my sons are actually getting to be, we're in another year or two, they'll probably totally take it over.
Yeah. Well, it's nice that you have someone to pass it down to, which doesn't happen a whole lot, but it's good that they're involved and they enjoy it also.
Right.
So now, Can you order one like a Mickey Mouse that I could put in my yard?
Mickey Mouse or anything else you want, I could probably get you anything made that you want. It would just take 3 years for it to grow out.
Well, that would be for my daughter anyhow.
All right.
But we want to thank you. It was very interesting.
I thank
Wish
you
all
very
the
much.
luck.
I thank you.
All right, you and
Yep.
your family.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, I hope you enjoyed our show this month on gardening centers in the Bethel Park area. I hope everyone got a few tips on what to do, and we look forward to seeing you next month on Jack of All Trades.